So I made this video. I was very impressed with certain things that Royal Caribbean offered even before stepping foot on the ship. So now that we've had a chance to sail, I'm going to go back over those and see if I still feel the same way. So let's talk about check-in. Check-in was very fast. I mean, they get you through that terminal quick. It took us 15 minutes to get out of the lift and onto the cruise ship. Just like that. Before you get to the cruise terminal, to port, like before you leave home, there's so much you can go ahead and do in the app to prepare yourself for check-in, and it just makes it a breeze. Like Royal Caribbean really does a great job with this. When we were doing our check-in, well, actually, when we were doing our health questionnaire the night before, it popped up on the app that we were given the express boarding, and I don't know how that happened, but it was very nice to have, especially with it being our first time on Royal. I feel like that was a pretty cool perk. I don't know if we got that because it was our first time. I also don't know if we got it because my birthday was on embarkation day. So again, not sure, but it was very, very nice to experience just walking on the ship basically. So that was really, really nice. And you know that when you cruise with Carnival, you have to step to a table with one of the agents. You have to pull out your boarding pass. You have to pull out your passport, and they go through this, small questionnaire with you. And being able to just bypass that part was really nice. Everything is digital, so that was nice too. Obviously, if you're not sailing with a passport, you have to bring other supporting documents. But if you sail with a passport and you have done all the check-in and stuff that you have to do before getting to the terminal, you'll walk right on the ship basically. I was very impressed with the app. The app was so inviting and made the anticipation like real intense for me personally as we planned for this trip. And once we got on the ship, it did not disappoint. So the app definitely went above and beyond. The muster and assembly information, so your safety info that you need in case of an emergency while you're sailing, it's right there in the app. It's easy to find. We keep our phones on us all the time. We're not always in our cabins all the time. They do have your safety info on the back of your cabin door, but again, who is in the cabin 24/7? And although you do go to an in-person muster briefing before the ship actually sets sail from port, I mean, who really remembers that stuff? So being able to reference it through the app is amazing. I do like that. One feature that we like to use is the chat option. Now on Carnival, that option is $5 per person for the duration of your sailing. So let me tell you how embarrassed I was when we got on the ship. So we get on the ship, we're trying to, go through, look at everything. We stop over at Bolero's to grab a drink, and it dawned on me, you gotta get the chat feature. You gotta pay for it, gotta activate it. We have a teenage son, so he's always off doing his own thing. We're off doing our own thing, and that's something that's really important to us. So I found someone that was standing in the promenade, and she was like, it's in your app. And of course, I'm like, well, can you show me? Because I can't see the option to pay for this. Y'all, you open the app, in the right hand corner, there's a little chat bubble. You just click on it, and then you add the people that you want to chat with. And that's it. It is free. It's available for anybody. That to me is really important because I like to communicate with who I'm with. I feel like you should always have the option to communicate with your people. And the fact that you don't have to pay for it, thank you, Royal Caribbean. The reminders that come through the app for anything that you have scheduled, whether it's specialty dining, shows, activities, whatever, came in handy throughout that sailing. There was a night where there was shows and activities scheduled back to back that we were interested in. And so having those reminders pop up really kept us on our toes and helped us make sure that we didn't miss out on the things that we really wanted to do. You had the aqua show scheduled. You had Love and Marriage, Quest, the nightclub. I mean, everything was scheduled back to back. So thank you, Royal Caribbean. Another thing that I was impressed with was the transportation. So they do offer free transportation from the port to whatever airport you fly into. So for our sailing, it was Miami International or Fort Lauderdale. We flew in and out of Miami International, and we did have the free transportation option already reserved, but we did end up canceling that. We canceled because the latest option that they had available was 7:30 a.m. and we like to take advantage of breakfast and kind of just hang out on the ship as long as we can before we get kicked off. So we went down to guest services and they were able to go ahead and cancel that for us. It was very easy. And so instead of being part of group 27, we were part of group 71. Those numbers, they really matter if you are having them pick up your luggage the night before. It lets you know what group your luggage will be in, but also it lets you know when to get off the ship too. So that ended up not being something that we ended up using, but the fact that they offer that option to get you from port to the airport at no charge, I really do like that. All right, so a few things about the ship that we definitely enjoyed, or about the cruise in general. The ship is beautiful. It's one of the biggest ships, and everything is just so new. It's very nice. They keep it clean. The layout of the ship is really cool. So Royal Caribbean does have neighborhoods. Central Park was beautiful. The promenade was nice. The boardwalk was awesome. And so although it's a really big ship and you have thousands of people on there sailing with you, it didn't feel like you were crowded. Everyone had room to move around. The only time it felt really crowded was on disembarkation day in the Windjammer. That was pretty much it. So with the food, we didn't try any of the specialty dining. We wanted to just try Royal Caribbean at the baseline since it was our first sailing with them. They didn't disappoint. The pizza at Sorrento's was amazing. I mean, my son was there as often as he could be. And then we grabbed a few slices too, especially like after the nightclub and stuff. El Loco Fresh, amazing. No complaints for me. Blue Iguana on Carnival is my spot. While everyone else is at Guy's Burgers, I'm at Blue Iguana. So El Loco Fresh was pretty good. And the Windjammer. The Windjammer was really good. I was impressed with Caribbean night. I was not expecting for there to be oxtails, cocoa bread, curry goat, rice and peas, cabbage on the buffet line. My husband, he enjoyed the crab cakes and the mahi mahi baked fish. That was also good as well. Definitely impressed by their free food options. But yeah, no complaints. Actually, one complaint. The fried chicken in the buffet wasn't that good to me. It wasn't seasoned like down to the meat, in my opinion, and it wasn't crispy, crunchy chicken. It was fried, but it wasn't crunchy to my liking. So if I had to complain, that would be the one thing. But overall, everything else I feel cancels that out. And next time, we'll probably go ahead and book a few specialty dining options on future sailings. The solarium was something that my husband and I really enjoyed. That adult only area on the ship really made it feel like it was secluded and it was for the adults. On Carnival, you do have the adult only areas, but honestly, it might be like, well, at least the ships that we've been on, it seems like it's just 2 hot tubs on one of the upper decks with a bar nearby, and that's it. So the solarium was very impressive. You've got all the lounge chairs out. You've got multiple pools, multiple hot tubs. Your bar is there. The solarium bistro is there. So you could literally spend all day in the solarium and not have to leave for anything. Bathrooms are there. I mean, it was very nice. One night I even took my blanket up there and just slept for a few hours. I mean, it was very peaceful and very nice. All right, so we did have a stop at CocoCay. That was part of the port stops in our itinerary, and we loved it. And I will tell you this, we purchased the deluxe beverage package, and the fact that you can use that at CocoCay is amazing, because on Carnival, your drink packages do not count when you're off the ship. even at their private islands. So it really made purchasing that drink package worth it to us. And yeah, great job. I do like the fact that CocoCay is big enough and there's so many different places you can go to, so it doesn't feel crowded. Because we were there at port with the Liberty of the Seas. That's a lot of people. Wonder of the Seas and Liberty of the Seas. You can spread out. There's plenty of food, plenty of chairs, plenty of space. The trams are always running. I mean, honestly, no issues with CocoCay at all. Definitely do enjoy that private island. The food on the island too was really good. Yeah. When it came to the parties, I don't know why I felt Royal Caribbean was going to be a little bit more laid back when it came to partying, but honestly, they were turning up, at least on our sailing. I feel like the promenade was jumping when it should have been like, people should have been asleep. 11:30, 12 o'clock at night, there were parties in the promenade. It was really fun. So that definitely was a stereotype of Royal Caribbean that I just had embedded in my mind. Like, it wasn't going to be a party atmosphere, but it really was. Now, I don't know if all sailings are like that because we did have a shorter sailing. All in all, we enjoyed our first Royal Caribbean cruise. So the question is, will we sail on Carnival again? It's going to be hard to go back to Carnival after just getting on Royal Caribbean. I feel like we, got to remember where we came from, right? So we might have to go back every now and then, but it's going to have to come with some stipulations. It's going to have to be an affordable cruise. The itinerary has to be fire, and the ship has to be newer. So if we can get all three of those to align, they might see us again. But for now, I think that Royal is going to be our default. But leave us in the comments if you have sailed on the Wonder of the Seas and some things that you enjoyed. And we'll see you next time.